The K-pop fans won't leave me alone, man, all because I said that jumping dunk against coronavirus.
Hi, my name is Sefuss, and today I'm going to talk about one of the greats of the last 20 years, YouTuber Twomad. Even if you don't know his work, you've certainly seen some of his memes. He is an acknowledged influence on both Zoomers and Boomers. And he has a fan base that includes just about everyone who likes to laugh. In 5 years, he made viral memes and dozens of the best YouTube videos, all of them amazingly consistent. All about how he deals with living multiple lives: African American, comedic serious, schizo, and sane. If you've seen any of his work, you will recognize this blurring of reality and fantasy. But today, I'm going to focus on one thing: his excellent editing. So as an editor, I'm always looking for new ways to cut, especially from outside the realm of video essays. Twomad was one of the most fascinating. His most notable habit was his constant use of intellectual montage. The Soviets created this style of editing, which is a new language they found through editing itself. The way the scenes were assembled was done so for the purpose of displaying a shot within the context of another. Intellectual montage is the theory that a shot only gets its context relative to what preceded it and what followed it. New subliminal meanings come through the juxtaposition and comparisons of a scene's imagery. Time and space took a back seat because underlying ideas became the key message of the edit. One of Twomad's greatest inspiration was the film Requiem for a Dream and its use of montage. Each shot in this sequence is given 9 frames and a distinct sound effect. The montage demonstrates drug taking's disorienting effect. The shot timing is frantic yet calculated. In turn, it gives the sequence a psychedelic style. Twomad did all these things, but he would also add in Baba Booey sounds, Baba Booey, voice modulation, seemingly unrelated memes, and I don't even know what to call this. To give you an idea of how dense this gets, the opening 30 seconds of this Twomad video has 10 jokes, and each one is connected by a sound effect and a different meme or insert. There isn't a cut on the 11th joke, but there is a sound effect within the scene. Just for comparison, the first 36 episodes of Skibidi Toilet has 0 insert shots or cutaways. And the number of times I laughed? None. Intellectual montage isn't uncommon, but it's not something that most YouTubers build a whole style out of. Usually you see it once or twice. 2 of the most famous examples would be Fortnite montages and cringe compilations. Oh, and this one because it's absolutely amazing. Twomad's work was about the interaction between dreams, memes, Belle Delphine, Baba Booey, and life. The particularly rapid cuts between a bunch of memes and sound effects were how he linked the different worlds. Sometimes he would stack memes or sound effects back to back so you would be laughing at one thing before you were suddenly laughing at the next. All of this made him very surprising to watch. You could blink and miss you were in a completely different bit. Even when getting shot across the room from this brap hog, Twomad was an unusual editor. His average shot length is way below the average YouTuber, coming in at a mere 0.69 seconds. For example, this shot of him slapping his man tits is only 6 frames. For a comparable moment from another YouTuber, that was 10 frames. Or how about this insert of someone being racist? 10 frames. But on a normal YouTube channel,
yo, everybody type in the chat, Alex is a stupid
49. Twomad thought as a content creator he could actually show less information in the shot so your mind could read it faster. You can actually see someone like Wes Anderson doing this in Hollywood, removing visual information so his inserts read faster. It's worth mentioning you can actually cut much faster than this, but the images pretty much become subliminal. Some of these shots are just 1 frame. None of this was for cheap effect, it was to convey emotion. Twomad believed that we each experience space, time, reality, and fantasy at the same time as individuals and collectively as a society. His style was to depict this in images and sound. And of course, in 5 years, he pushed YouTube in ways that aren't really possible as a normie. Not just elastic images, but elastic editing. A unique way of moving from image to image, from meme to meme. And he was helped in this crusade by Belle Delphine, who did some of her best work with him in a Donkey Kong costume. Editors have to decide how much time a shot needs. And these choices are difficult, there are no right answers. Consider this scene where Luke Skywalker tests his skill. To make it simpler, let's focus on how long each shot is held for. Notice how we build. Each shot gets shorter and shorter to the climax, but after 5 shots, we hit peak and we start coming down. And this whole sequence spends 15 seconds going up, but twice that going down, so we the audience have time to feel Luke's failure. But what happens when you shorten this timing? Let's take a look at a very similar scene done by Twomad.
You choose your words according to the audience.
Oh yes, computer science class. I am the hacker man.
See if you can feel the difference. Did you believe that emotion? Because in this scene, the education system failure only took 3 seconds. By comparison, Luke Skywalker's failure took way too friggin' long. People don't have all day. We need quick and immediate payoff and satisfaction. And if the content doesn't give it to us, then we just click on something else. Twomad knew this, and this is what great artists do. They innovate. He takes from the book of the writers of SpongeBob SquarePants, where he throws so many bits at you at rapid succession that you don't know what else to do but laugh. He, like any great editor, didn't pay attention to convention, but instead cut on instinct. And when you trust your instinct, you're able to find the natural rhythm of any scene. Sometimes the rhythm is obvious, like when the subject is doing something really physical. But other times it's quite subtle. For instance, the rhythm of a bunch of mini versions of himself running from the Chinese coronavirus. Or the rhythm of a restaurant with cooks, customers, and waitresses. These rhythms are close to what we feel in everyday life, and I think they're harder to edit. But if you watch anything over and over again, then eventually you feel the moment that the shot wants you to cut.
There's an inbuilt relationship between the story itself and how to tell a story and the rhythm with which you tell it. And editing is certainly 70% about rhythm.
Classic Hollywood editing is all about cutting with the rhythm. And this is what we mean when we say editing is invisible. The cut happens so naturally you don't notice it. Some emotions play better if you cut in a jarring way, like if someone is agitated. And other moments play better if you actually cut to make the audience uncomfortable.
Alexa, what day is it?
The impending gay time is coming towards us quickly.
What really matters is what reaction you want from people, because sometimes you can only get that with a strange cut or sound effect. And that brings me to my last point. If editing is so instinctual, then how do you learn it? I only know one way: practice.
And editing is very similar to dance in that way. You can explain the rudiments of dance, but to really learn how to dance, you have to dance.
You have to cut, and as you cut, you'll develop a sense of rhythm and emotion unique to you. I've been doing it for 15 years, and I'm still not there. But Twomad, oh, he got there all right. Whenever I'm frustrated by an edit, I just think of something Twomad once said.
I never showed my face on that channel. I did it once, and I put a video like way later on, and I lost subs because of it. Like nobody gives a f about my face. I was just really good at editing.
So never do a face reveal, and take it one shot at a time. Because if you watch any image,
I know we couldn't Skype tonight.
You'll see it has an emotion and a rhythm. And you have to feel when to
Baba Booey.
Farewell, Twomad.